well as the challenges within the space of water production. We all know that water is life. And every time I like to remind us where we started. Rite place was born as a child of necessity when we, from our own experience, could observe the issues around water quality. When people would not be allowed to drink bottled water, how much more sachet water, because the quality cannot be guaranteed, then we have a problem. Everybody drinks water. And as many water production locations we have in Nigeria, we don't even have enough. Now, but more than the availability of water, our interest is in the quality of the water that is available. And so it is not just enough for us to have access to clean water as a way to fight waterborne diseases and prevent all those other water-related diseases. But it is also important that the quality of that water is guaranteed. Now, don't forget that more than 80% of the diseases that affect us in Africa are related to water. And that is serious. So if more than 80% of the diseases that the common people have are related to water quality, then we have to take seriously the issue of water availability, water accessibility, and water quality. And so in line with all this discussion, Rite Place is planning a conference in August. And that conference is planned around the beyond access, quality matters. And so for us, some of these events that we'll be having and discussions we'll be having gearing towards August, we'll be touching on the same topic around quality and how important quality is and how we can only be able to fight or prevent waterborne diseases by ensuring the quality of the water that we drink. So again, we thank you very much for joining us today as we take on this discussion with our guests. I can see that our guest is already Lord John, and he is no other person than Honorable. I call him Honorable Okpanachi. He is the chairman of the Association for Table Water Producers of Nigeria, Akwuh, the FCT. I call it the FCT chapter. Last week we happened to be in one of their 2-day training sections, and we are very much impressed by the quality of the discussions that happened, and then the number of people that attended. I bet there were probably 400 to 500 people that filled a big hall in Merit House. And it was very interesting that all of those people have something to do with water production, water packaging, water distribution within the FCT locality. And that was not even half of the people that should be in that meeting. So we reckon that if we could partner so very much with these people, we'll be able to advance the discussion around water quality. Hopefully, as we all join hands, SDG number 6, come 2030, will be a reality. So I welcome you, my brother, the Honorable. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bona, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mezie, that's the President, Rite Place Health. Thank you so much to our guest, Honorable Okpanachi Mohammed, the FCT Chairman, Association of Table Water Producers of Nigeria, Akwuh. We're happy to have you in this series, in this particular water dialogue, and we're going to look at how pure is pure water, challenges and opportunities in table water production in Nigeria. I believe that you have experience in the water production space, being that you are the chairman of the FCT chapter, and I believe that you know how water is produced and how people are getting access to this water, and as well how pure is the water that people actually drink, the bottled water, the sachet water. So I welcome you, Honorable Okpanachi, and we look forward to hear your views on the topic of today. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Honorable sir.
Honorable sir, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. My name is Honorable Mohammed Okpanachi Akwuh, FCT Akwuh Chairman, Association of Table Water Producers of Nigeria. Thank you. I think I want to hold on the topic of how pure is pure water. But I think this name, let me use the word name, that has been given to a sachet water called pure water, I think it really means how pure the water is in a sachet. Globally, it's called a sachet water because it's packaged in sachets. But Nigerians prefer calling it a pure water. Reason is that they believe from inception, its packaging through sealing machine, automated machine, and the reverse osmosis that this same water passed through. That is why it's been called pure water. Before the invention of pure water, you know, those days waters are being tied in a nylon in a kind of a polythene sort of called Santana. And on that, we later get to know and understand that those ones were not really pure compared to when the automated sealing came on board. So all this water passed through an automated machine. We have a carbon filtration. We have the candle filters where you have it in the room. And most of us produce water with an arrow, reverse osmosis. And the reverse osmosis is a world-class purification machine plant that the last time we checked the WHO, that any water passed through reverse osmosis is as pure as anything. And I've seen it also in an article where we're told that even a sewage water can also pass through a reverse osmosis and to be considered a purified water. So if my members and most of us uses this machine to purify not even a sewage water, purify water either from a borehole or from a public means, which is a water board. And we tried to see that those waters passed through those machines adequately and is being packed in a sachet polythene. So I want to tell you, yes, my advice is to use the word that there are some sachet water in a bottle standard. What does it mean by that? Every treatment plant that occurs during a production of bottling water also occurs in sachet water production. So I want to assure this meeting and this gathering that every water that is being taken out by our members are pure, are very pure for human consumption. And the campaign, the current campaign we are carrying on is how to develop and how to bring more skills, more research into sachet water production in a way that we can compete with world-class water producers. We've done our best. I want to give kudos to our agency, NAFDAC. They are trying all their best. They've done more of it. They keep going out, inspecting and seeing what really our producers are producing. Are they keeping records? Are those water actually pure? That is the question the agency keep asking. And to God be the glory, through the association or in partnership with the association, we are also trying our own best by going around, seeing those factories that are not up to date, bringing them to the limelight, and also those ones who may be adamant in taking all these instructions from my monitoring team. We ask our regulatory agency to visit them and shut them down. We know there are always cabals of the bad ones who actually want to do things the way they feel is the best for them. So NAFDAC is actually climbing on those ones. I can't really tell you all the sachet waters, all in quotes, the sachet waters are pure water. But we are showing you as an association and the chairman of FCT that at least 90% of water produced within FCT are pure for consumption. So pure water is pure for every consumption. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Okpanachi, for that brief insight on how pure pure water is. I remember those days where when water used to be in a cellophane, a white cellophane bag, and we will also even go to it because it was it's cold, and people will go to buy it then and drink. So after then, we started having sachet water and the bottled water. And one of the things I can take out from what you've said so far is that the quality of water, the water in the sachet water, is the same as the one in the bottle because it passes through the same process. That's good to hear, because I believe that we believe that if you have to bottle water, or if you have to put it in a sachet, every other person buying it believes that it's a pure water. It's something we want to do. But we have had cases of we've seen videos of where people stay in one corner and be packaging, even in the process of packaging the water, we now question the how pure, this water, even adulteration of other people of the water, maybe using people's brand and making aside the people who take other people's brand to mess it up by just using water that's not from that company and bottling it and packaging it to say, okay, this is this. So I have a question before I actually give the mic to my president. How do you monitor your members, to actually know that they are following the approved process of producing this water? Because I was in your program where we had and people talk about, okay, NAFDAC can put us in their we can help NAFDAC by being in their task force to be able to check, because we know where a lot of people who are not even your members, are producing their own water, and some of them don't follow the standard. I heard some of your members saying that they can help, if NAFDAC would be able to include them in the task force so that they can help them to fish out the bad eggs in the water production space. So how is that going to happen? That conversation, that is going to be implemented? Because for what I know governments can do a lot, or to an extent, but the citizens, which is the producers now, for instance, they know their friends, they know who produces what. So I want to know, is that going to be implemented? Because for any water, aside for one particular brand that is not following the process, can cause a problem to a greater number of citizens in the community. So I don't know, I wanted to react to that. How is that going to be implemented? Even if it's not implemented, is there anything that Akwuh is doing to actually call these people out or to report them to the appropriate authorities, sir?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think my current ESCO of FCT came on board in 2021, precisely August 2021. That's when we came on board. And since we came on board, we tried in upgrading, in setting up standard in the way that, yes, most of our producers had been complaining that what they have been selling, prices they have been selling their water, could not make them to meet up the world standard or the world class producing class. So we came on board, we went around FCT, all the zone, all the units. I want to bring into your notice that we have all producers that produces water within FCT. We have their numbers, we have their locations. We knew ourselves from zone to unit. So anyone who produces at maybe your next door neighbor or your next compound is known by our members around there.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for that response. I would like to give the mic to
within FCT.
Can you hear me? Okay.
And all over. Hello.
Okay, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. We met a lot of rubbish, let me use that word, in the industry. But to God be the glory. God has been in a way of grading the standard of our producers. So if already we have what is called self-regulatory, we are regulating ourselves. And they have hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Any members who prove stubborn that could not take Hello, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So any of members who refuses to take from our own advice, we have monitoring team. Those monitoring team is headed by a lab scientist who is on salary of 150,000 every month. He goes around. He is always on a call from every of our zonal leaders, our zonal chairman. And those reports came through zonal chairman and unit chairman. If a unit chairman in a particular zone calls on his zonal chairman that there is a factory, a specific factory or a particular factory that's not really giving us, or it's not really producing up to standard, they will try to use their discretion in visiting him. But if he refuses, we now bring in the state monitoring team to actually see, have pictures, have videos. And on that, that is what we sent to NAFDAC to delicense that person. We've done a lot. On internet, you can see factories I visit myself to even see how producers are producing this water that is not pure. But we can't give ourselves 100% in doing that responsibility. We've done our best and we're still trying to get the best out of it. So NAFDAC, we are actually working with NAFDAC. NAFDAC FCT is giving us all support. We don't have issue with NAFDAC FCT here. We can collaborate, or we are already collaborating. We are already together. They take any message or any letter correspondence from us is taken serious by NAFDAC FCT. They don't joke with it. I think if there is any problem NAFDAC and the association is having, is not within FCT, it should be other states. Because I want to tell you that we have just two water producing associations in Nigerians today. One is called WAPAN and one is called Akwuh. Understand? But FCT is purely Akwuh. We don't have WAPAN here. So NAFDAC is not being careful in attending to our issue. They attend to our issue very well. They don't want to see, NAFDAC don't want to see itself of being sided either to Akwuh or WAPAN. But in FCT, we have just one association called Akwuh. So we are trying our best. Under my leadership, we've done greatly. And by His grace, like the training you were privileged to be part of, we will still have it at the second quarter again. It's the way of our members learning a lot, seeing how world-class production. I think after that training, a lot of them has called and has appreciate the ESCOs of the FCT, and they also request for more. We will give them at any time, and they see how the best of water production, of water producers can be given. I still want to assure that 90% of water produced in FCT is as pure as any bottled water. Like my own water, I use my pH meter to test my water. And I want to tell you that my own water here, at times we test some bottled water. This is what I use to test my water in every day. There are times I test my water, my TDS is even a bit better than some bottling water. That is the sachet water. The TDS here, after some testing, is even better than some bottled water. You understand that? So we encourage every producers to have this, and they all have it. Let them test their product themselves before it goes out. That is how far the association has gone in making sure every producers produce the right water. If your water is having a problem, you have a way of trying to, seek help, either from the association or from the agency. So we encourage members to renew or even pre-inspection with the agency. You can just walk into NAFDAC and ask them, okay, this is how your factory is, or this is things you are really observing within your production line. You want them to see through. They walk in, you pay. Before it used to be like 10,500, you pay to the agency and they follow you down to check those lines, what really happened, and maybe probably take your sample to the lab and they test and get back to that. Okay, you have this, you have that, you have that in your water. Okay, and this is how to get rid of it. So NAFDAC is there to give us the best, and NAFDAC FCT are really doing their best, and we give them kudos to the current, the present director, Dr. Ziggy Abdulkadir or something, is really partnering with us and is giving us, is really making us a self-regulatory, how to really put our members together, and really is working. joining NAFDAC is a way, or being in their task force is a way of kind of, maybe the person that really asked that question don't really know what is happening. But we, the executive, knows already. We don't even need to be with NAFDAC task force. We are task forcing ourselves. We are monitoring ourselves. And anyone who feels too big and not really ready to take instructions or advice from the association will push that person to the agency, and that is a regulatory body that can even license, withdraw his license or whatever. So it's always at their discretion to see. But it's a government establishment. What they do is to charge you administrative charges, and then move on and see how those things could be put in place. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Okpanachi. Before I move to my chairman or to the audience to see if they have questions, I want to ask you, are there major challenges that you can point out that table water producers have? Maybe through your members, what they've actually complained that are the major challenges in their production. And secondly, the water production, those who produce water in Abuja, do you think it's enough, to take care of the population in Abuja, staying in Abuja now? So I wanted to throw some insights on that.
Thank you. Let me start with the challenges, because I think maybe this avenue might be, or through this medium, we might get our helper. Let me use that word. Yes, there's a lot of challenges facing water production in FCT. One, we talked about power. Power is a serious problem. And the government of the day, we are also appealing to the government of the day to actually have a program or a policy for water producers in a way of importing our machineries or our materials. Currently, in short, our materials, all materials we use today are being imported. And we know how hard we are finding it now to produce in this dollars increase or whatever. So we are appealing to the government of the day to look for a way in assisting the water producers. They can come up with any policy today to include us in any grant, in any single digit loan that can be spread for the next 10, 15 years. I think that will also help us to have the best, let me say the best, not even world class again, that water produced in Nigeria or FCT will be world best class water that everyone can count on. This machine, I remember membranes that RO, reverse osmosis uses. I remember the last membrane I bought was around 85,000. And today in the market, membrane is sold over 120, 130,000. That is within, I bought the last membrane this year, December 23rd. And today we're having a membrane for over 120,000. How many of us can have this membrane or can change our membrane in our respective RO? So we are appealing to the government of the day to actually assist us in seeing how we can get all these materials at a very cheap price. So at least that will not really add to our huge cost of production. Today we are getting diesel at 1718 at some fuel stations. How do we power the plants? Because all the plants we have is full automated and semi-automated. And this plant actually, uses power, light to function. So we are appealing to the government of the day to look inwards and see how they can actually assist water producers or sachet water producers in FCT by giving us grants or single digit and or a long-term facility that could help us. Thank you. So, okay, sorry, your second question again?
Okay,
Sorry, your
okay.
second question. I just
The
answered
second
one.
question is about the opportunities as the water that's produced by your members or other water producers. Do you think it's enough, to take care of FCT? Looking at FCT now.
Okay, currently, I think before this time, like my factory has over 10 machines. But now we can't use the 10 machines again. We are reducing or downsizing because of the economic challenges. Even labor, we have a serious issue with labor. Most of young men today are not ready to work. They are into Yahoo, going into those kind of rubbish acts. They are not ready to work. Cyber crimes, that is what is the order of the day. That are the challenges we are having. But I still want to tell you that the agency on its part is registering members or producers. It's registering producers almost every week or every 2 weeks or every month. License are being given to producers. So I think if some of us cannot meet up our demand, the new ones coming up can actually take that burden. We are seeing it that the current producers we have in FCT can actually carry that burden in producing what can feed or what can carry that FCT. And if any other one join, the concern of this country, free trade, everyone is free to trade anywhere or any part of this country. So any producers or any intending producer that's coming is very welcome to join the race, and will help that producer to sustain and improve his investments. By joining Akwuh, you have a lot to gain. Sustainability of the business is our core priority. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. and Honorable Okpanachi. Just to remind everyone that this is Rite Water Quality Dialogue, and today we're looking at how pure water is, the challenges and opportunities in table water production in Nigeria. And we have Honorable Okpanachi Mohammed, FCT Chairman, Association of Table Water Producers of Nigeria at WAP. I believe he has been able to say a lot of things concerning how their production, their challenges, and of course opportunities in that space, because water is what we consume every day. In fact, water is life, and water is one of the things you will always want to drink. You will always want to drink water every day, and it's important to your health. I will be giving the mic to our President, Dr. Okolo, to see if he has questions or inputs based on our topic for today. And after that, if we have questions from those who are on the call, we can entertain those questions. And after that, we'll wrap up for today. Of course, we promise that this call will always be between the space of 45 minutes and 1 hour. Dr. Mezie, over to you now. If you have questions or
yes, I do. Thank you, Honorable, for the answers you have given so far. I'm getting some clarity already. But I have a few things I would like to clarify for the record purposes. You talked about the challenges that exist within the water production space. You said that the labor is kind of low now, so a lot of young men are not trying to work. But I'm also aware that there are some new people who are trying to get into that space, like you rightly said. NAFDAC is busy giving certificate at least every other week. My question to that would be, number one, is there a minimum certification required for licensure to be able to produce water? And how often is the license renewed? Do you have a minimum qualification before you can qualify to get license to produce water? And if they give you that license, how often do you have to renew your license?
It's okay. Thank you, Doctor. I think the minimum requirement is having your plant set up. And plant setup, I think the minimum requirement for a personnel is a bank or biological what do they call it, biochem, and any courses that has to do with chemistry, whatever. That is what is being accepted from NAFDAC. Most courses, lab scientists, health scientists, and all those things that has to do, water is like a natural thing. It's not really chemicals that you need to mix to get it. It's what you just need is to let it pass through the right channels, not having a leakage on ground. I mean, your machines are not leaking because through that leakages, you can have contaminations. So those are the major things that have been done. Then, and our licenses are renewable for every 2 years. That does not mean if the agency licensed you or renew you will not visit within that 2 years. They decide at any time to have their routine inspection. At any time, you are not prepared, you are not informed. NAFDAC will never inform you, I'm coming to inspect. And whenever they get to you, and what they registered, or at the point of registration, is not what they really mean. What they do is just to seal that facility. It will be sealed. It will be a hold label. On hold label will be placed on your doors, and everyone will be asked to move out. On that, you will be given an administrative penalties, and after you might have met up, putting those what they call faults that was met. If you put them in order, definitely you pay the administrative penalties and restart again. So, but our licenses are durable for 2 years and subject to renewal. And after each expiration, and you are not able to renew before its expiration, you are able to pay a renewal or a late renewal levy, which before it used to be 200 and something thousand, but at least of recent it has been reduced. To, I think, around 50 something thousand. From the, I think Akwuh cried for it, and they've done that to reduce the administrative fine to about 50 something thousand. So on that note, we are not encouraging our members not to renew as at when due. But a lot of things can actually bring that on. So it's just 2 years renewal, and sachet water is 5 years. Bottled water is 5 years of renewal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so a follow-up to that would be, you're talking about advantages of joining or being a member of Akwuh. I didn't get all that spelled out. Is there any incentive for me if I was a water producer to join Akwuh? Why do I need to join Akwuh?
Yes, you need to join Akwuh because the main objective of Akwuh is to uniformity, is to protect our investments. We as a leader have taken that tax, and we've taken oath of office to actually protect. Let's serve as a kind of a middleman between government agencies and the producers. We've been fighting, or we've been trying our best Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello? Okay.
We can hear
We've
you,
been
sir.
trying all our best. Okay. We'll be trying all our best to mediate between the government agency, the health sector, the local area councils, FRS, and the rest of them. So joining ATWA, you will have one voice. We speak one voice. That voice is a way of mediating between the producers and the regulatory agency. That is just the truth. We have tried all our best, bringing every taxes to us. We are paying a uniform tax. We have been pleading with all relevant agencies to make every tax they want us to pay a very moderate tax that can actually accommodate our business, because it's a kind of a small and medium scale enterprises. The sizes are small, but we still have medium and we still have big enterprise within us. So please, the only way you can have success in water production is to join ATWA. Once you are with ATWA.
So what percentage of producers do you think within the FCT are not members of the ATWA? What are we looking at?
Thank you. I think if we put it on percentage, as a chairman, what records I have, I think I want to say maybe within 1% or 0.5.
Okay.
Why am I saying that? In all the zone, we have about 15 zone within FCT. And the 15 zone within FCT, hardly we've heard of 5 producers that are not within ATWA. We believe that most of them who never wish to join are all those ones who are still with government, in a way laundering money through that production plant. They might just use it to, maybe after they might have siphoned money from someone, they want to launder it through that point. So that is just the way. Most ones we're having issue with are just those government staffs or those public servant men that are still, that just look for a way to join the association. I think we don't have them within the entire FCT. We don't have them up to 5 or 10. So that is what I'm even saying. Is either 5, I mean a 1% or 0.5. If really I can give it a rating. Thank you.
Okay, that's impressive. That's impressive right there. One more question before I see if somebody else has some question. You said that in ATWA, you have a lab scientist who is supposed to who is on salary and is supposed to help ensure quality of the water produced by members. So my question is, does this lab scientist do random sampling and testing of water produced by individual members and kind of show them the result of what he found?
Yes, what we do majorly, we don't take laws into our hand. We advise producers, or the lab scientists advise producers to carry out a kind of a test on their product, carry out tests on their own product themselves. But the only thing we recommend laboratories that you might go for those tests. We only advise you what to be done on your plant. What to be done on your plant. And if those advice are not taken, we invite the agency, because we believe that if those advice are not taken, it means that we are producing unwholesome water. And in quotes, the unwholesome water will be pure water in general, not minding A water, B water, or C water. The pure water I drank yesterday is not good. Or they would never say the A water I drank yesterday is bad. So randomly, the lab scientist goes around to even take sachets of water on road. Even through packaging, we also advise our members on their packaging. We also advise our members on their taste of water. So the lab scientists go around to pick samples randomly and check which one has a problem, even the size, because from NAFDAC, not producing the registered size, like my product is a 50 cl, which is net volume, is 50 cl. And we also try to advise members that are not producing more than up to that size registered required by the law, or that are producing above that size, to give the accurate size that you register with. You know, when we were having issue of materials and issue of hike in prices of materials, a lot of members try to reduce sizes, but we at the association level, we have just one voice and one advice to give them, that you must produce your size. So when you don't produce those sizes that you have been registered for, the association, nobody can come down. Nobody can even ask NAFDAC to pardon you or whatever. They will do what is right, and so that it will serve as a deterrent to every other producer. So we are just like an advisory body to our members. We stand for them at every peak, but we also stand for the public, which is the consumers. That is, we want the best for our consumers, and we also want the best for our members. The only word there is, you know, this water we are producing out, you sell them. So whoever is buying a water at 20 naira should be able to have that value for its water, for that water that is buying at 20 naira. So that is what the association stands to protect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your answers. What I'm taking from this is that your association is doing working hard in collaboration with the regulators to make sure that the quality of the water that we drink meet standards, and that is impressive. We appreciate that. Let me see if there's somebody else that has any questions before I could. I will know what the moderator wants me to do. Thank you.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Good
Thank
afternoon.
you, the President, Rite Place Health. Also, I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman Akwuh. My question is, it goes to the Chairman Akwuh. Is there anything your organization do concerning storage? Because one of the challenges I as a person have with bottled water or sachet water is storage. If you move across stores, you see waters packed on the sun. So I don't know if there is anything your organization do in that regard.
Thank you. I think the agency itself is frowning seriously. That is why there is an inscription on our polythene, our packaging, that water are best stored under a cool environment. It's hazard for a direct sunlight. You know, these polythenes are chemical substance that is being processed into polythene. So NAFDAC is seriously warning us against that. And the association, like you said, this is a take home. Maybe on our monetary team, we will advise them, any point you meet any water that is directly under the sunlight, please advise that shops either to cover it directly or to make a shelf for it, so that it will not be directly under sunlight, because now that one under. But we'll be taking that to our members. Our members are aware of that. But since you've mentioned shops now, so we're going to take the campaign to shops that no water should be left under direct sunlight, and let them know how to pack their water directly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. My second question is, if for a new investor, for instance, if I want to go into water production, what is the process? Come to you first, or I get my things in order before coming to you as a member?
Thank you. I think, thank you, sir. At that moment, as at the time of intending, the first places you need to visit is NAFDAC. We only registered, or we only take in members as a registered producer. You need to be a producer first before coming to us. We only accept you when you are licensed by the agency. But to a point of time, at the point of receiving your registration certificate, NAFDAC do advise, please, can you find the right place to have the best for your business? And fine, if you know, association is optional. You want it? If you really want the best for your business, then NAFDAC don't need to advise you. You will definitely look for us, because I think the campaign is on. Everyone knows Association of Table Water Producers exists in FCT. We are on with campaigns and meetings on air radios and everything. So please, they all know what we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, President Dr. Mezie, for your questions. Thank you so much, our guest, Honorable Okpanachi. From the conversation, I was able to, because the issue of water storage is something I've noticed that is actually a challenge. And I believe Akwuh will have to also take the campaign serious, because even the storage at some point might end up affecting your business, because your dealers must have to take that that issue very serious, storage, because you might get the water very clean from the manufacturer or the producer, but then when you get to where the final consumer comes, and the water is no longer fit for consumption, maybe due to where the water was packed, might have been packed with other things, and it's easy for other materials to seep into, especially sachet water. So I think Akwuh will have to also take that serious in sensitizing both the dealers, and that's a very important area I think Akwuh should look at. On that note, I don't know if any other person has question. Time is fast spent, and I want to thank everybody who have joined on this edition of Water Quality Dialogue from Rite Place Health. This is a continuous conversation, and of course, you know, this call is streamed on Facebook. Of course, you can watch if you didn't start from the beginning, and I'll also have it open there for a lot of people to watch from now, and we'll also be sharing it to major platforms for people to watch the outcome of this particular edition. So on this note, I want to thank so much Honorable Okpanachi for being. I don't know, I'll have to give my president to give the closing remark so that we can close. Over to you, Dr. Mason.
Thank you, Bona. Honorable, thank you very much for honoring our invitation. You have brought some insight into the subject of pure water, and for me, the take home today is that by reason of your association, most of your members are able to guarantee the quality of the water that they produce. In fact, in your words, you said there's some sachet water in bottle standards, and I think I like that. And you also had highlighted that you have mechanisms in place to monitor and maintain ongoing standards with your members. And then what is even more interesting is the percentage of producers who have identified with your membership. And you also talked about the plan and the collaboration with the agencies to ensure quality. So you know that Right Place is about everything quality. And the essence of this conversation is for us to all work together to guarantee quality and to ensure that waterborne diseases are eliminated in Africa. And the only way we can do this is to join hands with one another and to bring our own ideas and experiences to the table. So to have some of these kind of conversations and achieve results. Going forward, Right Place will be having some engagement with you. And we have already taken note of some of the challenges that you enumerated. And we'll be, as we continue to engage and to discuss, we'll be rolling out some ideas about how we can strengthen the members and some of the new ones that are coming on board, and the services that we can provide from Right quality. And of course, you already probably know that our sister company, the Right Place Synergy, has a water solution as well, a water treatment solution, which employs nanotechnology and ozone to be able to guarantee the quality of water. And more than anything else, is able to remove total organic carbon to the tune of 99.99%. And that is novel. And so as we engage, we'll get to know more about it. So, but thank you very much for coming. And the Right Place is always here. We'll be happy to do whatever we can to help you to be successful in your operation. So please don't be a stranger. Once again, you're welcome. Bona, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Meze, on that closing remark. Thank you everyone that have joined. And thank you for those who will still watch. Of course, when you are watching, you get to this point. We appreciate everyone. On a special note, we appreciate the FCT Chairman, Association of Water Producers of Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir, for the insights. Thank you so much, because we are going to be working with you, especially in FCT, to do a lot of things. Of course, from the things you said, the challenges we have been seeing, because this issue, the issue of campaign on water storage is very important, because one is going to help the business of the producers, and as well, it's going to help the consumers, because health is wealth, and if I have to drink something that will cause problem for me, then I don't have to drink it at all. And on that note, I want to thank everybody who has joined this call, and also to remind you that this is Right Place Water Quality Dialogue. This happens every other week, and we'll be taking on issues around the water, issues around the water space, and of course, you know that one of our major mission is to see how we can eradicate waterborne diseases in Africa. And we cannot do that alone without the collaboration of those in the water space. That's why we keep engaging people in this space, talking about water and how we can actually give our communities the best quality water from. On that note, thank you once again, and I look forward to you joining our next edition. And you can rewatch this on Facebook at Right Place Health on Facebook. You can follow us on social media as well, on Instagram at Right Place Health, on Twitter at Right Place Health, on LinkedIn at Right Place Health. And of course, we'll keep engaging. You know, the little things we do bring it to the bigger picture, and we solve the problem that is facing us, which is getting and making sure that the water that our community is drink is of high quality. On this note, thank you very much, everyone. See you on our next edition. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.